There we are. Hey everyone, welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV. My name's Ethonra. I know I just messed up my terrible intro. It's because I was distracted because I was actually in game in Yulmore and I tried to start the stream like twice and it wouldn't start. So I was like, okay, well, let me back all the way out like I normally do, and now it's working perfectly fine. So I don't quite know what that was about. While I'm also here, might as well talk about how, thankfully, for once, being low tech actually helped save at least one of my streaming videos from the other day, since I did 3 of them. So somehow, God only knows, my stream uploads were in reverse. The last one was uploaded first, and the first 2 were uploaded last. No idea how that happened. That said, originally, part 2 of the Cardinal Virtues wouldn't upload, but like I said, low tech actually saved me here because I watch my own streams. I turn the volume all the way down. In the off chance someone actually does talk to me, I'll see it in the chat because I don't like having it on screen. So yeah, I actually watch my own stream, and so thankfully because of that, I was able to go to my history and simply add it to my Final Fantasy XIV playlist. But of course, no sooner than I do that, they pop up anyway, so whatever. It took like 24 hours for it to happen, but whatever. So we're gonna hop in now. I'm actually am in a pretty good mood, which is, great, all things considering. I didn't sleep well last night. I would have streamed much sooner, but I didn't fall asleep till 3 o'clock in the morning because of my insomnia, and I woke up at like 10 o'clock in the afternoon. That put me way behind on things that I had to do, so I had to take care of that. Hey, welcome to the stream. Then, while that was going down, I decided to do some of the Firmament quests, which was really cool. Nice references in there. And they just kept going on and on and on. So I stopped after one of them and decided to just go ahead and start the stream up so we're not going to be here forever. But yeah, I'm in a good mood because an old friend of mine who I don't get to talk to very often actually got to talk to. In addition to that, I've had it for a couple of days now, but I never brought any light to it. She made me this necklace that I'm sporting. Very proud of it. Design-wise, it is my favorite. I like the black one with the green gem. Appearance-wise, more because I like the look. But obviously this one's more important to me because it was handmade by my friend. So thank you for that, anomalous friend. I would state your name, but you probably don't want to be embarrassed on being one of my streams, right? Oh yeah, I plan to do this later. I'm not going to stream it since I don't ever bother streaming raids, but I'll definitely tackle that later. Right now, we're worried about this. I meant to talk to them. I forgot they were over there. Knowledgeable as always, Yustola. Yeah, she's not wrong. Oh, there's another friend of mine. The bread came in handy, huh? Ordinarily I wouldn't do this, but let's see what happens. Yeah, you go nuts.
Forgive us our lateness. Master Chai, my congratulations on your appointment. By all accounts, you are a capable mayor.
Oh, I have capable friends, my lady. I must say, it's good to see you looking hale and whole again.
The credit for that lies with my own capable friend, without whom I might never have escaped my abductor.
A primal? I suppose that would explain why Elidibus has been fostering faith in the Warrior of Light.
Allow me to say this too, by the way. I nearly forgot. So before I went to, well, while I was trying to go to bed last night, or this morning, rather, I was thinking about what I said about Elidibus, how he could compromise if he wanted to, he just chooses not to. After reflecting on everything that happened, because one of the things I usually forget when it comes to him is, like Yestola pointed out, that we found out a while ago, he's the heart of Zodiark, so essentially they're one and the same. With that in mind, I take back what I said. I think it is actually impossible for him to compromise on what he's trying to do. Like, he physically can't do it. Kind of like how, well, now that's a poor comparison. I'll just leave that alone. But yeah, I think it is actually impossible for him to come to a compromise. He can't do it. I was thinking of like Emmett Selk, how he was able to do it. But at the end of the day, he was still just an Ascian, a powerful one, popular favorite as far as community is concerned. But be that as it may, he was still an Ascian. Elidibus, as he just said, is essentially Zodiark. So I would say it actually is impossible for him to compromise.
While you were enjoying your audience with the Wandering Heart of Zodiark, we were busy dispatching the last of the Black Master Ascians, a task which proved almost insultingly easy.
Nah, you're just overpowered, Thancred. You know what it's like.
Formidable though we undoubtedly are, they were obviously sent to provide encouragement for budding heroes. One cannot help but wonder how many times the ploy has been used before.
More times than I can count.
Master Chai, you mentioned that the people of Calusia are similarly enamored of the Warrior of Light.
Indeed, though it's hardly surprising given the state of the world. Many are still struggling to find a purpose, and it's only natural that they should take comfort in the tales.
Then the fever has spread to every corner of Norvrant. We may have dealt with his black-masked minions, but it is plain Elidibus has yet to show his hand.
Oh my! What a spectacular sky!
Ever the observant one.
Another star shower.
Wait, is that...
Elidibus. What are you up to?
Amaranth?
Here, feel, think.
Did you hear that? That voice calling out?
No, I didn't hear anything, but... why do I feel so... like I've lost something dear to me? Does Elidibus seek to awaken more people to the Echo with clearer visions of the final days?
In the name of the light, I shall vanquish the darkness. I shall deliver the world from its doom.
Yeah, I recognize that sword.
And who might you be?
Whoever they are, they've come for our heads! No, you don't! Ha!
They are not of flesh and blood.
I know this magic. The rings are like unto those that the Exarch did employ in our summoning.
Are you saying the Exarch is summoning them?
Nay, yet the similarity can be no mere coincidence.
Should we make a stand here, or retreat to the Crystarium?
The ether churns around us. More of them will appear ere long. To stay would only place innocents in harm's way. We must fight this battle elsewhere.
Wait! Take one of our airships. You can decide what to do on your flight to the Crystarium.
You are a capable leader in your own right, Master Chai. The citizens of Yulmore chose well.
It's settled then. To the airship!
I mean, I think we could have just teleported away, but that's nowhere near as flashy or dramatic, is it? Ah, and of course we get to do this, which is great. This is probably one of the, well, it is, but I'm saying either it's the only new dungeon or there's at least one more. Maybe two, because I am kind of far behind. But that's good. You know the drill. I'm going to run with the squad, see what the dungeon is like. I'm half tempted to play Dragoon and let Thancred handle the tanking, but I've actually done that before. And he's not a bad tank at all. He really isn't. He's much better than most new tanks. Funny thing about that, real short story here. There was actually a Dark Knight tank, and we were, let me show you the dungeon, because again, terrible with names. Yep, it was this dungeon right here. And he was new. And we ended up wiping to the first boss once, and the third boss, I think, like 3 times. The healer was also rusty. They admitted to that, but that was mostly the Dark Knight. I had to remind him to use things like Walking Dead, Blackest Night, specifically on the healer for certain parts like that. And there was a dancer there too, who was also very helpful, and they helped me keep them, you know, not freaking out. They were apologizing and stuff, like, you know, it's fine, you're learning, you know, it's good, you're listening. That's the most important thing. But anyway, I bring that up because he mentions, because I don't do rotations, that's painfully obvious, I would think, that I don't do rotations. I just try to play my job as best I can, and I react to whatever's happening if I need to. That being said, he mentions that he uses rotations, and yet he wasn't playing the tank role that great. Again, no Blackest Night, or at least not when it was needed. No Walking Dead. I don't think he used that skill at all. I think every single time we wiped, it was because he just hit 0 HP. And granted, I've also heard things like Benediction has been nerfed, where there's like a delay on it now, much like how Hallowed Ground is. I'm not sure if Super Bolide and Walking Dead have that delay. I don't think Home Gang does, but anyway, let's get into this. Yeah, that's true. So yeah, as I was saying, this is nowhere near as dramatic, so obviously I do prefer this. Let me talk to them first. Now she's gonna miss us terribly when we go back. I actually wasn't gonna thank you at all. I thought Alpha No handled that. Or not Alpha No, Urianje. I mean, what am I saying? Y'shtola. Hey, that's pretty cool. I'm glad I took the time to turn around. I know. I just talked to her again to set it right. Well, they are made of the stuff. Yep. I wonder if this will be like, again, terrible with names, but there's this one dungeon where you get to swim on Bismarck, ride on Bismarck, while Bismarck swims through a large majority of the dungeon, the first half at least. I wonder if this will be similar. Yeah, we obviously got to bring these two. Well, I say that, but then again, I'm starting to remember the team I actually ran with.
Here we go!
Our fates are not yet sealed.
Victory will be ours!
Alright, let's rock. There is part of the spoiler is going, well, no, I don't want to reveal too much just yet. I will just say I do need actual human players to do it with me. Can't CPU cheese the spoiler. Nice.
Damn it! Hang on to something!
Thankfully, that fake Dragoon's aim was not all that great. I mean, that was possibly the highest dive he could have had on a virtually stationary target. You saw how slow we were going in a balloon, and not only did the balloon not pop, we didn't explode. Lucky us. Alright. I know who I need to take out first. I don't know about my CPU friends here. So that being said, I guess I'll just take out whatever they're taking out so we can get through it faster. Hopefully the healer... Actually, hold that thought. There we go. Ah! I was still locked onto the stupid monk.
I shall protect thee.
Oh well, their heal didn't seem to do all that much. That's enough out of you. But yeah, that sword he's using, and I think maybe the shield. I don't usually have a shield on me, well, visible at least, when I play Paladin. But that sword at least is definitely from Zervan. And it is one of my favorite swords, because it has a scorpion tail. Really like it. The one I use for my Paladin isn't that one, but I still do like that sword.
And more I bring to bear.
Ah, cool. I'll save the one. Well, never mind, my party will be taking care of that one. So say I was gonna save this one for last because he looks more like a samurai. The other one looks more like a Ronin.
All that I have and more I bring to bear.
You know, getting to fight them, I called them, they said they were someone from another world, and I guess that's true, but I mean, they seem more fake, given the fact they're called spectral. Yeah, and as I've said once before, I'll say it again, this is also a reason why I like to run with the squad whenever I do one of these dungeons for the first time. I love seeing all the interactions. Hey, cool. Try to turn them this way so the golems don't get hit. I think they're using their bare hands too, which is definitely my favorite style to use when I'm playing Monk, having the Emperor's New Fist equipped. Or glamored, I should say. I'm also loving how they're making all of them appear differently, because I half expected this to be the same Paladin, but it's not. Not sure about the Monk. I'm pretty sure he's different too. But I do like how they're different. Uh-oh. Didn't see the Dragoon there. Come here, you. Oh, and that's the spear of the Fiend. I might have the name wrong, but that's definitely from Sephiroth. This is really cool. I like this. I was commenting on something about them being fakes, even though they're called spectral, but I don't remember it now. And I guess the machines are spent after using that AoE.
I'll show you.
Well, like I said, I did some of the Firmament quests, and it's kind of funny because just the other day I was talking about how I missed Lady Iceheart. Turns out some of her former minions are still roaming about. Gotta say, I knew something had to clear the way. Hey, look who it is. I remember him always being so hyped about these things. I like that though, because personally I don't care for speed running. I can, and I know how to do it, but I don't like to do it all the time because, as I've had to tell people before, not everyone can speed run. This makes me want to bring like everyone to every possible dungeon. Yeah, I expected as much. Oh. Okay, it's not what I thought it was. That's an interesting looking AoE. Wonder how much more complicated it's going to get. Yeah, it actually does do what I thought it was. Okay, I'll have to keep that in mind. When he did it the first time, I figured he would do what he did, but there was only one AoE marker, so I thought I might have been wrong. Nope, I was right.
Here we go.
I'll see if he'll do what I think he'll do. Still a little bit different, but pretty much the same. I know another boss that has a similar mechanic. Yeah, if it can be helped, I usually don't fall for the same trick twice. Or at least once I learn it. That reminds me of Xenos' Tank Buster. He has a 3-hit Tank Buster too. Actually, I think his cleaves as well.
I shall protect thee.
Huh. Yeah, it's been a while since we've seen her or them. They mess with Planet Man. Yeah, you don't say. Kind of interesting, the fairies are being attacked. Oh, yeah, so I guess while we're doing this, I'll talk about what I was trying to say the other day about how your role dictates what you can and cannot say or do. Well, I had this problem like years ago where I was a black mage and I got into this argument over something. I don't even remember what it was. It might have been a strategy or... because it wasn't anything base, like, oh, the best character in the game is etc. It wasn't something like that. It was something that had actual weight to it. And the thing is, the white mage being a total jerk about what we were talking about, and no one, I'm going to try to pay attention here, no one was really taking my side for two reasons. One, I think the black mage was actually in there with a friend of theirs, and two, white mage was in there with a friend of theirs, and two, is because it's like, because you're the white mage, you can do whatever you want. You can let everyone die, you can let everyone live, you can choose to heal people if you want, blah, 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 blah. I'll elaborate more on that once we finish this dungeon, unless something, I guess I can do it now while nothing's happening. I just don't want to talk or anything while stuff is going on, like this guy showing up. Let him get his dialogue out.
I'll show you.
But anyway, that was years ago, and that bummed me out pretty bad. It's almost turned me off being Black Mage completely. And I had a similar instance when I was a Dragoon a couple days ago. I think a day, maybe two, before I actually started streaming again. And so there was this healer. We were doing, I think it's Dunscape, the name of the raid. And there was new people there, of course. And on the very first boss, we ended up wiping because the alliances were being wiped out. They were being pushed off the edges. They were being killed by instant death. And my party, for the most part, of course myself, was also still alive up until... Good. Well, up until the entire floor was covered in those death squares, and at that point I just jumped off because obviously there was no coming back from that. But keep in mind, I was able to do all that as a Dragoon, not the typical LOL Dragoon. Now, these look like twins. Oh, Ink Mage. I like that. I like that. But anyway, so after that, I decided to mark the healers, because the healers that were alive in my party, the healers weren't raising each other. In a sense, like Alliance B would have their healers wiped out and no one could revive them. I think someone even got mad at the red mage that we had for not reviving people. It was like, you know, we don't have that skill until much later. Which goes to my complaint about how red mages should have things like Vercure and Verraise around level 30 or so. But anyway, so after that wipe, I marked all the healers. I gave them all the shapes, cross, square, triangle, circle, and bind 1 and bind 2. Ignore 1 and ignore 2 are usually used on people for insulting them. And I don't like using the target 1, target 2, etc. markers for players, because those are obviously, if there's any mark meant for ads, is those. So I prefer not to mark people with those either. With that being said, so I marked all our healers, and then our healer, surprise, surprise, I believe it was a white mage, actually started the fight. Didn't wait for the tanks, didn't wait for anyone to ask questions, just started the fight. So for that, I marked them with the, you guessed it, ignore marker. Kind of like a, you should be ashamed of yourself. Here's your badge of shame. Wear it with pride. And from that moment onward, that healer was dedicated to harassing me throughout the dungeon. Like they were trying to rescue me at inopportune times. And for the most part, they failed. Like one time they even rescued me during my limit break 3. And of course, I just used it again, so no one beat me to it or anything. A Spectral Necromancer. No, we don't have that class yet. And I'll finish the story once we see what she's up to. I don't like she's a Necromancer. That screams a lot of ads and instant death, but here we go.
Going to leave a mark.
Yeah, that's a little disturbing. That's actually worse than the guy from the Weeping City. Did you see that? Looked like their bodies actually expanded before they blew up.
This is going to leave a mark.
Oh, those look familiar. Yep, I was right. Thankfully, she doesn't have a lot of health.
I shall protect.
Like, not a lot at all. That did a lot of damage. Pink eyes and green eyes and pink hair, huh? Curious at what she meant by lose again. Anyway, so I marked the healer, and they were trying to troll me throughout the entire raid, and by the time we got to the, trying to think of what her name was. I don't remember her name, but essentially she's the Void Sent Queen. Hey, it's my favorite. Oh, and you too, my dude. I like she got her helmet on. That's nice. I mean, make no mistake, she can definitely take a blow to the head, but I'd rather her be hurt as little as possible. The Ale Forge. That's almost as funny as Spencer of the Bottomless Cup. My favorite fate, by the way. There's another one I also like that involves a Dragoon. Anyway, so the healer was trying to troll me, and by the time we got to the Void Queen, I pointed this out to the party, because I think after we got done fighting the clown, because I kept marking him, and he kept marking me, and then I pointed out, I'm trying to remember the order of events here, kind of concentrating. I remember the main point of my story, I'm just trying to get it in order. I just know things pretty much came to a head when we got to the Queen. So anywho, by the time we defeated, yep, I remember now, it was definitely after the clown. So after the clown, he basically said, wait until we get to Diablos. And I said something to the effect of, yeah, or I could just kick you out. And he said, yeah, try it. So after we finished the Ultimate Weapon prototype, I said, okay, and I did exactly that. I tried to, but no one kicked him out. And then people were like, hey, what's going on? And I was like, oh, well, the healer's been trolling me this entire time. And they just didn't really care. I have the video recorded. I was thinking of should I upload it or not, because I was going to use it to make a point. I might do it anyway, of how if you're a DPS, you don't have a lot of sway. If you were a tank or a healer, then that'd be different. Because obviously you're more needed to the party. Healers and tanks are not necessarily easy to replace. DPS are. So if you have a DPS that's trolling you, they'll get kicked out in a heartbeat. But if it's a healer or a tank, we'll think about it. Oh, and I do remember the other healer was basically saying something like, no, we shouldn't kick him because he plays, he's good. And I said, well, one, you are efficient. You've been healing everyone. Well, he's not been healing everyone. Basically, whenever people are being healed or buffed, I noticed it was from him. He even has a macro for when he's rezzing people, which I saw a lot. So I can say for sure, at least he was doing his job. And so then I said, oh, so you're saying as long as you play well, it's okay to harass people? If you're trolling, as long as you're a professional, it's perfectly fine? Didn't get a reply from that. Maybe I will upload it, because like I said, if anything, I want to use it as a point of how you don't have a lot of sway if you're a DPS. Even if you know what you're talking about, even if you're being harassed, if you're DPS and replaceable, no one cares. So sorry I had to share that somewhat of a downer with you. But I would like to believe I'm not alone in that. I'm pretty sure because of how probability works, there have been other players who have been in similar situations where they're in the right, but solely because they're a DPS class, no one listens to them, or they can get kicked out for no reason. Like, I don't know if it happened in the raid I was mentioning because my memory's so bad, or if I was just talking to a FC member or something. But I did mention how a red mage got some heat for not reviving people, even though they don't get their revive skill until much, much later. Yeah, I saw that one coming. Oh, that's neat. I wish my passage of arms lasted for an entire minute. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, that's awesome. Brings to mind that video I uploaded about her teaching me how to give a dwarfen decking. That's awesome. Hey, and there's Tech Grandson. I didn't even notice when he joined. I also love dungeons like this. This reminds me of the Grimlit Dark. I think that's how it's pronounced. Or at least that's how I want to pronounce it. Being an ignorant American, I just pronounce things the way they look. Because, you know, when you're being taught how to read and write and pronounce words, what is it they always tell you? Pronounce it how it looks. Read it as it sounds. You do exactly that. Then years later, it's like, no. There's like 6 different words that are said the exact same way, but have different meanings and spelled completely different. Didn't teach you that when we were learning to read, did we? Sorry. Ooh. So it's like a warrior and a dark knight mix. That's an interesting hybrid. Yeah, I mean, he is a berserker, a class we absolutely don't have. Warrior comes close, in a sense, when they go berserk, but something tells me he's in a permanent state of that. No, he can actually speak. And as expected, he's extremely durable. And I imagine he hits freaking hard. Oh. You recognize this from Sephiroth. Okay. That's kind of cool. Oh. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, because I'm like, if we stack all of those, we're absolutely going to die. I know many people have seen such a thing. Oh, I wanted to see what that did. Oh, I know a way I can check it, just not right now, because I'm probably going to die if I attempt to. Well, maybe not, but I'd rather not risk it. Oh shoot, yep, don't want to be there. Well, I guess if I got knocked in that hole it would have been fine, but I definitely didn't want to be in the wall. This is a fun boss. I'm really enjoying this. guessing if you go fully berserk, it's similar to being confused. You'll just attack everybody.
Give me strength.
Oh, good. They know to stop.
I shall protect you.
And boom. Boom again. God, you are stubborn. Ruined my dramatic finish. That's my fault. Trying to show off. I completely forgot for a split second there about the 0 point whatever part of the health. Yeah, doesn't matter. We won. Since those craters are still there, I'm guessing those are always going to be there every single time we do this fight. As in, they'll always be in those two positions and nowhere else. Yeah, I would love to have seen what kind of world that Berserker came from. The stories he could have told. Excuse me 1 second. The gnat just tried to assault me. There we go.
I think that's the last of them.
Apparently even they have limits. Nevertheless, we should remain vigilant.
Urianger, something occurred to me while we were fighting. These enemies.
Are heroes hailing from other shards, summoned hither to deliver this world from its doom.
Okay. So I said they were fake earlier. I didn't mean fake as in being not real. I meant fake as not being... I guess I did mean that. What I'm trying to say is, even though they said spectral, and I called them fake, they explain it better. I'll let them explain.
Scant moments after the star shower did they appear, as yet more souls were inspired to walk the hero's path, no doubt. Thus did hopes for salvation of realms near and far resonate and converge, lending still greater strength unto our adversary.
And it's very interesting they keep bringing that up, because it kind of ties into the spoiler.
So that's Elidibus's game. But first things first. If the rings are the same as the Exarchs, then we need to ask him how that's possible.
The Crystarium is close. Let us press on.
They come.
So near and yet so far.
In the chaos of conflict, one can always find an opening to exploit.
Whoever taught you that is a wise man indeed, and good with a gun blade. But yes, I dare say we can create an opening wide enough for at least one of us to slip through.
I think my height will make it much easier if it was me.
That being you, of course.
Yep.
Though others are welcome to follow in your wake. Reen and I will keep our guests occupied.
Must be nice to have really good healing as a gunbreaker, Thancred. I'm kinda jealous.
Brave and selfless as ever. Yet the two of you may struggle to fool our foes, etherically sensitive as they are. Had you a comrade who could use destructive magics to wreak havoc upon the ambient ether, on the other hand?
Very well. I too shall assist in the diversionary effort.
My guy.
Oh, not this old dance again. Yes, obviously I'll stay and fight. Alphino, I'm about to do a great many stupid and reckless things. Watch my back, would you?
And there you have it. Take care of yourself, my friend.
Yeah, make it nice and big, despite my minimalist size. Go ahead.
We'll do our best.
Finished? Then let's begin. Ha!
You imagine if we had the ability to limit break 3 at will?
"'Tis done."
Oh, let me see, let me see! Oh, yes! Your memories are preserved safely within! We've done it! We've done it at last!
I have inspected the other vessels. They are all ready to receive of our friends' memories.
Oh, excellent! Excellent! I shall have my familiars bear word to them at once!
Yeah, you can hand that back now.
Elidibus.
It was not until I observed the battle between Emet-Selch and the Warrior of Darkness that I realized what I must do.
By the way, I call that Xenos' theme because that's the first time I can remember hearing this.
I will summon heroes from other worlds unto the first, just as you did.
Even though it may obviously not be, I can't help but think of him when I hear it, because it sounds kind of insane sounding, and Xenos is most certainly crazy.
Their presence shall serve to empower me, granting me the strength to crush my enemy.
Though it pains me to disappoint you, I feel compelled to explain that the magic in question requires no small amount of preparation.
Ah, but you assume I require my champions to be summoned in their entirety. I do not. Their souls needn't even be whole. My purpose requires no more than their burning desire to vanquish evil. This I shall sear upon the ether, raising thereby an army of phantom heroes to whom I shall whisper. as I have to so many over the ages. Here lies darkness. It must be destroyed.
And you expect me to cooperate?
I do not require your cooperation. Your death will suffice. The magic I shall have from your corpse.
Hmm.
Go, Lucas! We must flee!
I like that voice much better.
But what is this?
Now I told you should have gave it back.
My friend, how did you...
Don't worry about me. What happened to you?
No matter. Elidibus. He took us unawares.
It was all we could do. To raise a ward to hinder his steps. And so we fled. But he took it. The vessel with the Exarch's memories. Forgive me. Forgive me.
The vessel bears not only my memories, but my blood. The blood of Allegan royalty, granting him the means to control the tower. With it, he has performed I know not how many summonings, calling forth heroes from across the rift. And, as you can see, the burden upon the tower is beginning to tell. No, I won't let you go alone. Not this time. Elidibus has exploited the people's nobility, twisted their purest intentions for terrible ends, and I cannot let it stand. As Exarch, it is my duty to protect them, to defend their hopes and dreams. So I am going to the Crystal Tower, with or without your blessing. Though, I would rather it were with. Thank you.
I joined you, but I would only be a burden. Better that I remain here with my gremlins.
I shall send help. Stay strong, my friend, and take heart. By binding Elidibus within the tower, we have done more than simply delay him. Much like our adversary, I am not wont to show my hand prematurely, but the time has come to bring my strongest card to bear. To the tower!
Alright, here we go. I have a rough idea of what's going to happen, but we'll get there when we get there. Alright. Hey, look who it is. Be ever faithful. You can say a little bit more. The world's not about to end just yet. Or be saved, I should say. Hey, it's another role player. That's kind of funny because you got some of the details wrong, but it's close. I remember seeing this other YouTuber who had, I think their role player was actually a bit better. That looks similar to this guy, so that was kind of cool. Ah, I should have said the second one. I just realized what my character would have meant. Because I'm like, my character wasn't here to see him seal it up, or at least not up close. He meant seal it up from way back in A Realm Reborn back then. Dang it. Dang it. Well, I was going to say, actually... Nah, I probably won't get the chance. It just threw me off because from a technical standpoint, it has been a long time, both real life and in game, that my character saw this place sealed up in the source. There's that jam. There's also the battle theme of the circus tower.
Not here either. We must keep climbing. Twas but a matter of time. I cannot keep up with you. Nor will it avail us to make a stand here. You must go on without me. Find Elidibus and stop him. Worry not, my friend. Though I am no warrior, I have learned to hold my own over the years. When first we explored this tower, you and your fellow adventurers formed the van, while I was left to follow in your wake. Suffice it to say, I was not best pleased with the arrangement. How I wished that I could join you. And now I have, here where it all began. I was right to trust in you, and the power of your legacy, of your name, to let them guide my every deed.
For Elidibus is my name, and my mission, guiding my every deed.
Yeah, I mean, I'm far, far from perfect.
Why you? Why not you? Had I chosen another, we would never have made it this far. Or do I mistake your meaning? Elidibus spoke in similar terms, you say? How curious. To answer your question, then, I made my choice for reasons which seemed obvious to me, but may not to any other. There were the expectations I placed upon myself before beginning my slumber, and the expectations of those who roused me. Of course, I had the choice to turn my back on a lot of it, but in the end, it was no choice at all. I cherish the time I spent with you and the others. What I wouldn't give to return to those halcyon days. Chasing ancient secrets, overcoming trial after trial with the aid of like-minded comrades. And what remarkable comrades they were. In such company, I felt as if I were a character in the epic tales that had stirred my heart as a boy, as if my dream had come true. It hadn't, of course, for I was no hero. Neither then nor after. Though the world to which I awakened and the first were beset with myriad problems, I rarely knew how best to play my part. There was, however, one thing of which I was certain. That I could not bear to let those dear to me meet a tragic end. I'm afraid our time is up. Go! Rest assured you haven't seen the last of me. I wouldn't dream of playing my trump card save in your presence. Break!
Memories of a possible future. Worthless. All. Worthless as memories of the only past. Fated to fray and fade into oblivion. Leaving naught but a gaping void. The Waking Sands. Yes, that was the place. The place I first made myself known to you and yours. The Seventh Rejoining had left the realm listing dangerously towards darkness, and events were unfolding that threatened to push it over the brink. Thus did I approach you in my capacity as emissary, thinking that you would make a useful pawn. But I was wrong. And for my misstep did La Habrea and Emet-Selch pay the ultimate price, leaving me the last of the Unsundered. My remaining brethren, fragmented as they are, cannot hope to see our mission to its end. It falls to me alone. Defeat is not an option. I will strike you down. I will resurrect Lord Zodiac, and I will bring back those who sacrifice themselves to call him forth. Though it take 1,000 years, upon my honor as Elidibus, emissary of the Convocation of 14, I will see this done. What of it? I have my mission. I am Elidibus, and it is my duty to steer mankind and the very star upon their true course. This I swore to someone. We spoke, and I swore. What? What did I... This pain, this torment, is nothing. No more than must be suffered to deliver the world from its doom. No more than any of you malformed creatures have known. Even should you lose all that is dear to you, even should it cost you your life, you bear the burden and fight on, kicking and screaming until your last breath is spent!
Aye, it's true. We've lost much and more. Known unimaginable suffering. But through it all, we never
ever forgot what was dear to us. And that's what gave us the strength to carry on.
No! It will not end here! Champions from beyond the rift, heed my call! The time is come to deliver your brethren from darkness. My heart's sole desire is a world free of sorrow. Join with me now in hope and prayer for the salvation of all! If you would usher in the end, then with my all shall I oppose you. As the avatar of those mortal heroes who fought unfalteringly in all their imperfection, as the warrior of light incarnate. Come, warrior of darkness, let us finish this. What? An invocation of Eld. Though not of Hydaelyn's making. What are you? No, it matters not. You are the enemy, and you will fall. Even should it cost me everything, I will not forsake my duty.
Alright, so I like how they have the summoning set up here. That's really neat. So we're finally at the spoiler I've been wanting to talk about. I'm going to save that for when I come right back. And while that's going on, I'll let this sick jam play. Be right back. Sorry about that. I'm back. So, while we're doing this, before I click, because who knows, it might be instant, so I'll try to summarize. So if you recall, I brought up how I was spoiled by this because of a FC member when I asked who your favorite primal is, and he said Elidibus, and I completely just blanked out. Because again, he didn't say the name correctly, so I didn't know who he was talking about. And when I realized he was saying Elidibus, I was like, wait a minute, that's not a primal, that's an Ascian. Unless you're telling me he did some kind of Lady Iceheart, King Thornton kind of shenanigans. And then they were like, oh, well, I'll just stop talking because I don't want to spoil you. So he didn't do it on purpose, and thankfully he didn't play the, oh, well, that's not a spoiler card when it clearly was. So I wasn't too upset at him, but obviously this would have been much cooler if I hadn't known that. In addition to that, I accidentally, I don't really watch YouTube, TV anymore. I watch things like YouTube, gamers, things like that. And Mr. Happy is one of my favorite Final Fantasy YouTubers, so I watch a lot of his videos, namely his guides, because I find them both informative and entertaining. And I happened to stumble upon this one. And when it happened, it was, I thought, because of the arena, I thought it was something like Omega, like there was another kind of side story. And the reason why I thought that is because you're obviously fighting the Warrior of Light, and we've also fought a very, not to spoil it for you, a character from a Final Fantasy VI who makes a very similar appearance to what the Warrior of Light just did. So I figured, okay, this is something like Omega. It's going to be another one of those kind of raids, trials, whatever. And so I watched it, and it wasn't till a little bit later I realized, I went back and watched it again, and I realized it said Warrior of Light, Elidibus. I was like, okay, I understand now. So I was spoiled 2 times over. One was by my clanmate, and then the other one was watching that video. But rest assured, the one I saw was an extreme trial, so it's not going to be the same as this normal one. I'm going to stay here a little bit longer because this next part of the song is actually my favorite. Yeah, I really love that part of the song. As a whole, I honestly don't care for it that much, but that part specifically I really, really like for 2 reasons. They did something similar to the twining, or the twinning. I've heard it pronounced different ways. I always thought it was the twining, but anywho, that dungeon has a mix of the Circus Tower and Omega theme, which I really, really like Omega's theme already. So when they remixed it into that, which I say is even better, really like that theme. And that part in this song that I said was my favorite, to me, it sounds like it's some mixture of Amarat and of course the Shadowbringer theme, and it works well together. Especially the lyrics. If you don't know the lyrics for that part of the song, definitely look it up, because it's, I guess the entire song is technically for the Ascians, but that part specifically really speaks to me about it. Oh, we lost our DPS. This is going to take a while, so for the one other person that's here, I appreciate that, but you might want to go and grab something to eat or something. It'll be on YouTube, so even if you're not here to see it, you won't miss too much. I guess I'll ask the FC for help. Nah, I'll wait a little bit longer. It says it takes about 5 minutes, and it's 3:37, so after 5 minutes, we'll see what happens. I always did love the vocabulary that's used in this game. Literally helped with my speech impediments at times. Oh, 5 minutes. Alright, let's see if we can get anyone. That's also why I kind of wish I had gotten to do the stream a bit earlier, because it's like 11:05 at night. So we'll see if we actually get anyone. They might not actually be able to help because again it's late, and they did do a event today, Wednesday night, Wondrous Tale, something like that. Yeah, I imagine if you know how to do this fight, it is a fun fight from what I've seen. The extreme is like ridiculous. It's definitely, if you like hardcore kind of fights, you're definitely gonna like the extreme of this one. Yeah, see, they know. Got 2 DPS so far though, so that's nice. So yeah, next time for the next update of this game, I'm definitely going to have to be on the ball because I was keeping this one even more secret than this spoiler. I was actually spoiled a little bit more because I think I know what's going to happen after this fight. I think. I could still be wrong, but from some screenshots and reactions like, oh, the feels and I cried and all that stuff, and I kind of think I know what's going to happen. Now, if it actually straight up happens and can't be fixed, then I understand that, but they kind of set it up in a way that seems like it can be. So not completely spoiled, but somewhat. Really upset that I was though, because this would have been so much cooler if I had walked into this blind, but oh well. I guess something else I could talk about while we wait is I know the boss has a certain attack that will absolutely kill you, kill everyone, as a matter of fact, if a tank limit break isn't used, which is nice because the only time you really, well, I take that back. The only time, I think this is the only time, I'm trying to remember in a main story quest where you would actually need a tank limit break. And I can't think of one. One of the first ones that come to my mind is Alexander, but that's a side story quest. You can go through the entire game and never fight him, and you'll be fine. He's not required to progress in this, as far as I know. So that being said, I think this is the only time you'll need the tank limit break in a story. One I would put above Alexander, though, was actually Innocence, back when he was still new. Because even in the main story quest, if you fail and get 2 slashing debuffs, you cannot survive it without the tank limit break. I think you couldn't even survive 1 back when everyone's level was the absolute minimum, but I know for a fact if you got 2, you would definitely die. but I don't think that's a problem anymore because I've never seen anyone even fail the extreme version, so that shouldn't be an issue no more. But as I said, this one seems like to be the only one main story quest related where you need the tank limit break. And speaking of that, the move he will use, I also know the name of it. Yeah, completely spoiled. So for those of you who don't want to know what it is, just mute me. You really won't have anything important go on until the fight itself. But yeah, the move he actually uses is called Ultimate Crossover. And I really hate that because the move itself is really cool. It will absolutely kill you if you don't limit break it with a tank. So I love all of that aspect, but oh man, the name. They're usually so good with their names. For example, one of my favorites is Titania's, the original one, where her ultimate attack was called Being Mortal. That's awesome. I hope I don't have to explain why that is, especially considering how easy it is to fail her DPS check. Back then, doubly so. But yeah, just being mortal and then being killed by that is just, that's awesome. I like that. But for this one, they call it Ultimate Crossover? Really? Ultimate Crossover with the Warrior of Light from Final Fantasy 1 clearly being a crossover. And you call that awesome move Ultimate Crossover. It's just, it hurts, man. It really hurts. Because the thing about that is, I've played Dissidia 1 and 2, 012, whatever, and he actually has the move Crossover, and it is not what he uses in this game at all, not even close. It's basically like a spinning shield attack or something, and it's just like basic bravery attack, as a matter of fact. So of all the moves, why would you call it Ultimate Crossover? And again, it's like a little self-aware and slightly cringe that you would call it Ultimate Crossover because it is a crossover, and then you name it Ultimate Crossover when he has a move from Dissidia called Crossover, and it's a basic move. Real bad fail. If I was going to do that, I would have named it something like Ultimate Day Flash. That's also a move he had in Dissidia. And Ultimate Day Flash, once you see the move, if you haven't already, you'll see why that is much more appropriate than Ultimate Crossover. Another one I also would have accepted if they called his ultimate attack the Bitter End. I know that's his tank buster, but if that was the case, I would have used instead something like, another move he has is, what was it? Oh, Rune Saber. I would have made it probably like Absolute Rune Saber or something like that. Or Radiant Sword. That's another move he had in Dissidia. I would have called it Radiant Sword. That could have been the tank buster. But Ultimate Crossover? Nah, not feeling it. Most of this theme, not feeling it, except for that one really good part. Ultimate Day Flash, The Bitter End, would have been much better names. I'm kind of disappointed in you developers. You know, I hate to leave it here, but here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna give it till 15 minutes, and if the queue does not pop, I'm going to end the stream. And tomorrow, I'm not gonna start streaming until the Duty Finder pops. And when it does, I'll start streaming. We'll go through the fight like usual. And hopefully the stream won't be like 20 minutes long. Hopefully there'll still be some extra content I might have missed, because I think 5.3 is actually after this, like after all of this goes down, so we'll see. But like I said, in less than 30 seconds, if it doesn't pop, then I'll just end the stream. Pretty much said everything I needed to say, and I can't stall anymore. I have nothing left to talk about. I do appreciate the one person who's still there. I think I might know who you are. But regardless, whoever you are, mysterious stranger, thanks for sticking around. Sorry the stream is so boring. yeah, it's not happening. But yeah, okay, that's what I'm going to do. Tomorrow, I'll try to stream much earlier, and I'm not going to start the stream until the Duty Finder pops. That way we can just jump into it immediately. But before I end it, that really good part's about to kick on, so you know we're about to just listen to that. Also, I don't want to say, yeah, stupid me. I was actually talking during that part. Man, that part is so good. I wish it was longer and it played more often, because the rest of the song just not feeling it at all. Anyway, I barely remember what I was saying aside from ending the stream and whatnot. Yeah, see, even the other tank left. So yeah, calling it a night. I don't remember what I was saying. But yeah, that's basically it. We'll just start the stream much earlier tomorrow, hopefully get a party, and we'll see what happens. Thank you for dropping by, and I'll see you around.